الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين لقيام يوم الدين. Inshallah, we are going to take lesson 10 today. Lesson 10 of Sarf, Arabic Quranic grammar, Quranic, because we'll try to take the examples from Quran. But as I mentioned, we are trying to take just the concepts now, and then we'll take the examples, so that in Sarf you need to know the concepts, and then we try to, when we'll take the applications, we'll try to take the comparative application, so that we can know that this is ism fa'il, this is ism maf'ul, all these different derivatives of the words and the verbs. So therefore, let's move to slide number 2. Slide number 2, you can find it on lesson 13, patterns of derived nouns, that the types of derived noun, ism al-mushtaq. If you recall, I'll quickly just mention that we are doing like noun and verbs. In noun we took the original nouns, and we took the derived nouns. In original nouns, we took the nouns which are original self noun, like rajul, like nahar, and there other are the derived nouns from the verb, which is masdar. And masdar, we said that there are 5 types of masdar, or 6 types. We mentioned masdar the sarih, masdar muawwal, masdar ism al-marra, ism al-hay'a, the noun of the type and noun of the unity, and then we also took the masdar al-mimi. Anyhow, then we finished the masdar. Now we are going to take the second part of the chart, which is what? Which is derived noun. In derived noun, we took ism al-fa'il and ism al-maf'ul, and now we are going to take ism sifa mushabbah. If I just look at slide number 2, you will see that there are 7 patterns in nouns that will be discussed as derived nouns. Subject noun is not the subject, it's not the grammatical subject. Subject noun could be subject and could be object. We mentioned this. So subject noun, that means a noun which has the wazn, which has the scale of fa'il, subject noun. And then the object noun, which could be subject and object in grammar, but here it has the wazn of maf'ul, object noun. And then we have the sifa al-mushabbaha, description similar to the subject noun, or you can say extensive emphasis, and that like af'al, aswad, af'al. And then we have superlative noun, like akbar min, af'al min, akbar min, like more, greater than, more, bigger than, like superlative, like he's greater, he's higher, he's taller, he's shorter, he's longer. So it's called af'al, akbar, asghar. And then we have amplifying nouns, sigha al-mubalagha, fa'al, ar-rahman, and then we have maghrib, noun of time and noun of place, maghrib and markaz. And of course there are rules that sometimes you might have ism zaman maf'al, sometimes maf'il, sometimes ism makan maf'al. So it's interchangeable. We are going to take the rules when we talk about ism zaman and ism makan. So, and there we have the place, noun of place, which is noun of place, we mentioned. And then we have tool noun, which is minshar, mif'al, minshar. As-sifa al-mushabbaha, we mentioned that sifa al-mushabbaha, there are nouns we cannot derive ism fa'il out of it. So we take sifa al-mushabbaha. Sifa al-mushabbaha similar to subject noun. As-sifa al-mushabbaha, ism fa'il cannot be derived. Whenever ism fa'il cannot be derived from some verbs, like intransitive verbs like al-fa'l al-lazim, verbs, in such a case sifa al-mushabbah is derived from it. Sifa al-mushabbah does not indicate the doer of an action, but indicates a stable description. it indicates a stable description. And this is as-sifa al-mushabbaha. As-sifa al-mushabbaha indicates a stable description. A stable description. That means when you say katib, like somebody is doing the kitaba, somebody is writing, fa'il, somebody is doing it. But when you say katub, he's a writer. See, writer in Arabic, you can say katib is a writer, katub is a writer. But katib, he is writing now. For example, he's in a writing phase, so there's an action. But sifa al-mushabbaha, there's no action. It shows stability in the description. So it's a description. It's a stable description, not a description while he's acting it. So that's the difference between sifa. There are verbs you can have sifa al-mushabbaha and ism fa'il, katib, katub. But there are times, you will not have ism fa'il from some verbs. Therefore, you will use a sifa al-mushabbaha. If you want to express ism fa'il, you will have to use sifa al-mushabbaha. Therefore, there is a similarity between sifa al-mushabbaha and ism fa'il. Ism fa'il. In some books, you will see that they will put sifa al-mushabbaha under the ism fa'il. So, it is called sifa mushabbaha, al-mushabbaha, because it is not ism fa'il, subject noun. Some books, they keep it under ism fa'il, but acts like it grammatically. So grammatically it acts like it, so it is similar to ism fa'il. Sifa al-mushabbaha, it's mushabbaha, it's similar to ism fa'il. Like waladun hasinun, hasin ism fa'il, but nobody uses it. The Arabs did not use. The Arabs used waladun hasan, waladun hasanun, fa'alun. So fa'alun is sifa al-mushabbaha. Fa'alun, sifa al-mushabbaha. Like for example, black, iswadda, it became black. If'alla. Now this one, what is ism fa'il of it? Ism fa'il of it, like for example, we cannot say sa'id, we cannot say sawa'id or something like that. No, we will say aswad, af'al is sifa al-mushabbaha. Af'al is like muswid, because it's more than 4 letters, so it's muf'il, murshid, but nobody use muswid. Like Egyptians, they miswid, yani it's blackened. But in Arabic, like regular Arabic, very few is, but usually it's used aswad. Innahu aswad. You can say innahu muswid, like Egyptians they say miswid. So it's muswid, muf'il. That's ism fa'il for more than 3 letters. So swadda is the past, muswid is the ism fa'il, but we use mostly sifa al-mushabbaha of it, aswad. It doesn't mean that you cannot form ism fa'il out of it. You may be able to form ism fa'il out of it, but it was not used by the Arabs. The Arabs rather they use sifa al-mushabbaha, and that's why sifa al-mushabbaha takes the place of ism fa'il. Let's move to slide number 4. Forms of sifa al-mushabbaha. Sifa al-mushabbaha, if we have more than 4-letter form, similar to ism fa'il. If we have 4-letter, then what's the 4-letter of ism fa'il? Muf'il. So if we have i'tadala, we have i'tadala, look at the slide. I'tadala ya'tadilu. We will bring the present tense out of it, and then we will replace the prefix ya with the prefix mim. So ya'tadilu will become mu'tadilu. Ya'tadilu will become mu'tadilu. Ya'tadilu, mu'tadilu. So therefore ism fa'il of i'tadala is forward. Alif, Ain, Ta, Dal, Lam, i'tadala. I'tadala was the present tense. Ya'tadil, now make ism fa'il out of it, mu'tadil. So ism fa'il and sifa al-mushabbaha in this case are similar. Ism fa'il and sifa al-mushabbaha in this case are similar. Most of the tri-lettered verbs has commonly known form, suma'iyya. These are suma'iyya. That means there is no standard, there is no criteria. Such as Kareem. Now Kareem, what is this kareem? Like karuma, or karuma. What is the ism fa'il of karuma? If we put that the standard form, it will be karim. Now karim, nobody uses karim. Everybody uses kareem, fa'il, kareem, fa'il. So ism fa'il is what? Not karim. We don't have karim. So we use sifa mushabbaha. Sifa mushabbaha is kareem, fa'il, kareem, fa'il. And then also, except for the one, so for the tri-letter verbs, it's all like sumaiya. You have to look into the dictionaries and the form used and practice on it. But if we come to this, the other, which is like, what they say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, except for the ones which indicate a color, such as aswad or swadda or aswad. Aswad is the ism fa'il, not ism fa'il, sifa al-mushabbaha. Sifa al-mushabbaha of what? Of the black. The black aswad. It is black, aswad. It is black. So it is derived from swadda. Swadda or sawada or saada, something like that. So anyhow, so whenever like the colors or the defects, like something is defect, a'ma, blind, we don't say ami, amin, ami, or sawid, fa'il, sawid. We don't say fa'il. We just say aswad, af'al. We just say a'ma, instead of ami. And then akram, we said kareem. Akram, we said kareem. So such as akram is kareem. And then we have four-lettered forms. So four-lettered forms like af'al, male of af'al, and male is af'al, af'alun, aswadun. And what is the female of the aswad? Fa'la, sauda, ahmar, red, hamra, red female, azraq, blue for male, zarqa, blue for female. So therefore this is like ahmar, hamra. And then we have fa'lan and fa'la, jaw'an and jaw'a. Jaw'an means hungry. Atshan and atsha with the ya, with the alif at the end, alif, short alif. So for male it is, for male, hungry, jaw'an, female, if female is hungry, you say jaw'a. And then we have further the standard forms are mentioned in coming slides. Let's move to slide number 5. Intransitive form, fa'ila has 3 forms. If the ain had a kasra, then the sifa al-mushabbaha will be as follows. So now we are taking the forms. Remember we said that some doesn't have, like tri-letter verbs, most of them you have to look into the dictionary. But there are some, they have forms. Like for example, fa'ila has a form. Fariha, farihun. So it's same except for the grammatical sign says that. So fariha, farihun. So fari, fa'il, fa'ila, fa'ilun, 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 fariha, farihun. So fariha is past tense, he became happy. Farihun, he is happy. Farihun is happy. And then we go to the intransitive form for fa'ula. Fa'ula, if the ain of the verb had a dhamma, fa'ula, then it is intransitive, like it requires, it doesn't require maf'ul bihi. Then we have karuma, karimun, fa'ula, fa'ilun, from generosity. Da'ufa, da'ifun from weakness, weak. Da'ufa, weakened, da'ifun, weak. And then fa'ula, shaju'a, shuja'un, fu'alun, shuja'un, brave. And then we have sahula, sahlun, fa'ula, fa'lun. And that jabuna, jabuna, coward, jaban, cowardness. And then we have batula, Batula, brave, he became brave. Batalun, brave, hero. Hero, he became hero. He is a hero. Batalun, hero. Batalun, hero. And then Batal is like basically hero or champion. Sometimes they use it for brave, so it's not basically brave. Brave is shuja'. So like brave, you call it Batal. That means he's hero. So let's stick to hero or champion or something like that. So when they say Batalul Mulakama, boxing champion, Muhammad Ali Clay or Clay as they say. So therefore we have the last ones, number 6. Saluba, stiffened. It stiffened, the stiffness. Salbun. Let's move to slide number 7. Slide number 7. Now that was all regarding Sifal Mushabbaha. Now if we look at the Sigha al-Mubalagha, slide number 7, it's another lesson. Sigha al-Mubalagha, emphasizing form of magnifying things or exaggerating, or Sigha al-Mubalagha is used, As-Sigha al-Mubalagha is used to emphasize, amplify and magnify the emphasis of a noun. Slide number 8, forms of Sigha al-Mubalagha, amplified noun. Many of these forms are used by the Arabs, so there is no standard form. Most of the forms are like for triletter verb, most of the forms are Suma'iyya. So you have to practice it, learn it, just like that. There's no standard form. You cannot use one form for all the forms. Like for example, Jabbarun, the wazn of Jabbar is Fa'al. So it's better to memorize the words, and then because otherwise you'll get confused if you'll start memorizing the standard, because there's no standard. So Jabbar, mighty. Jabbar, mighty or giant. Fa'al. And then we have Allama, scholar, a person who has plenty of knowledge, we call him Allama. Fa'ala, Allama, Fa'ala, Jabbar, Fa'al. And then we have Mifdal, Mifdal. That means a person who bestows a lot of favors, he's Mifdal. He has a lot of fadl, Mifdal, Mif'al, excellent. I will not go with excellent. Like he has the fadl, he has the honor, he has the higher hand of benevolence or blessings. He has a hand of favor, fadl, hand of favor. That means he's giving a lot, he's giving extra. Fadl is ziyada. Fadl is ziyada. Hada min fadli Rabbi. This is from the excessive of my Lord. Miskin, mif'il. Siddiq, fi'il, very truthful. And then hadir, fa'il. Then rahim, fa'il, merciful. And then we have kadhub, fa'ul. Now these two forms we are going to elaborate a little bit on it. Like we have fa'il and fa'ul. Form is used also for Sifa al-Mushabbaha. Fa'il is also Sigha Mubalagha, Sifa Mushabbaha. Sigha Mubalagha, Sifa Mushabbaha. To indicate the amplification of the fa'il, ism fa'il, a subject noun as well. It is an example, in this example it is an amplification of Rahim. We don't use Rahim. We use Arham, Af'al, Aswad. See, we use Af'al, Sifa Mushabbaha. We use Rahim, Sigha Mubalagha, and Sigha Mubalagha, and also another form of Sifa al-Mushabbaha. We don't use Rahim Fa'il. We don't use that. We use Rahim Fa'il, and we use Arham, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Oh, the most merciful. Arhamar Rahimin. So therefore, and Kadhub, Fa'ul, number H, big liar. Form is used to indicate a meaning similar to the ism maf'ul, such as amplification, like Rasul and Mursal. Rasul, Fa'ul is from Mursal. The Prophet is Mursal. Allah, he is sent He is he has been sent. Mursal. Allah is the sender. Mursil, muf'il, mursil, muf'il. Allah is the sender. But Rasul is mursal, the one who's been sended. Mursal, the one who has been sended. Now, these two forms, let's focus on them. First, let me explain it to you. Fa'il and fa'ul. Fa'il is like ism fa'il. Fa'ul is like ism maf'ul. So, therefore, listen. Now we have this where many times in Arabic language the gender follows the noun. Like if we have like Muhammadun Kareemun, Muhammadun Kareemun, Muhammad is generous. Fatima Karima, Karima. See, we followed the gender. It follows in description. So the description took the ta marbuta. Because why? Because we described a female. So the gender follows the noun. Gender of the description follows the noun. Now here in Sigha al-Mubalagha, does the gender, does it follow the gender of the noun? Does it follow the gender of the noun? This is the question. Yes and no. How's that? Here's the thing. We have a cross thingy. Just focus with me and I'm done with today's lesson. Number one, fa'il. Fa'il is like, if the meaning of fa'il is like ism fa'il, then the gender will follow the noun. Ism fa'il will follow the noun. The gender will follow the noun. If it has the meaning of ism maf'ul, object noun, so the gender will not follow. The gender will not follow. If it is used as its origin, like fa'il, its origin is the meaning of ism fa'il. So if it's used as it is like that, then it will follow the gender. If it is not used like fa'il, like ism fa'il, and it's used at ism maf'ul, then the gender will not follow. The gender will remain, say, like for example, fa'ul for male and fa'ul for female. Zaid kadhub, Hind kadhub. Will not say kadhuba. Will not say kadhuba. Because why? The meaning is with the intention, with the ism fa'il. I mean fa'il, rahim. But our intention is that ism maf'ul. Intention is same fa'il. We are using it for maf'ul. Can we use it? The Arabs used it. So whenever we use it as it is origin form, like we use fa'il as ism fa'il, then it follows the gender. If it is used as ism maf'ul, the meaning of ism maf'ul, it does not. Fa'ul is opposite, the second form, fa'ul, kadhub. Fa'ul, if it is used as ism maf'ul, then it follows the gender. If it is not used as ism maf'ul, then it does not follow the gender. That's all in these coming two slides. Let's look at slide number 9. Rules of rahim, fa'il, rahim. In both cases, fa'il and maf'ul, the rule that applies to both form, fa'il, the description and the noun that it describes is different depending on its meaning. A. If fa'il has the meaning of fa'il, subject, then it follows the noun it describes in gender. Hādhā shafiqun, he's passionate, shafaqa. Hādhā shafiqun, this male, hādhā, this male is this for male, like hādhā is for male, hādhi is for female. This is passionate, this female is passionate. Fa'ul. So we will say shafiqah with a ta marbuta, circle ta at the end, because that's for female. Hada, male, shafiq. Why it followed the gender? Because it is used as ism fa'il. This male is compassionate person and this female is compassionate person. If the meaning of if it has the meaning of an objective maf'ul, complement, it remains masculine even if the noun it is describing is feminine. For example, ja'a rajulun jarih. So it doesn't follow the gender. Jarih doesn't follow male, the female. Jarih is for male, jarih is for female. Why? Because it has the meaning of object. meaning of object, the injured one, an injured woman, an injured man, both are. This is the only case if the described word is mentioned, but if it is implied, the adjective must follow the described word in gender. For example, jaa jarihun, we did not say jaa rajulun jarihun, we said jaa jarihun. So here we have to, even if it is object, if it has the meaning of object, it has to follow the gender. Why? Because it is implicit. There is no rajul. Jaa jarihun wa jariha, jarihun wa jariha. And then we move to slide number 10. Same like ism fa'il, but it's opposite. If the form of fa'ul is slide number 10, if the form of fa'ul describes a noun that has the meaning of an object, maf'ul, it follows the noun's gender. Hada rasulun, hadihi rasulatun, fa'ulatun, ta marbuta. If it has the meaning of subject, fa'il, then it remains no more gender. It's opposite of the previous. Remains masculine even if the noun it is describing is feminine. For example, Jaa al-Abul Hanun, Hanun is passionate, loving, care. Jaa al-Abul Hanun, the father who's fa'ul, Hanun came. The mother who's fa'ul, Hanun came. No changing in the gender. Why? Because now it has the meaning of fa'il. It has the meaning of fa'il. This is the only case, the same thing. If the described word is mentioned, if the described word is implied, then adjective must follow the described word in the gender. For example, Ja al-Hanun wal-Hanuna. Why? Because Rajul and Mar'a is not there. So they are implied. So in this case, we have to put the gender there. Ta al-Marbuta, circle ta for the female. And we move to last slide. Grammar of Sigha al-Mubalagha. Sigha al-Mubalagha can be used as a replacement of a verb. But on what condition? If that was articulated with al, we are studying this in grammar inshallah. This is just like a side note. So if it had al, like al-Kareem, al-Kareem, we can use it as a verb, and depends on mubtada, whether it's nominal subject, negation or interrogation. We are going to study this more in grammar inshallah. This is all for today. Wa akhiru da'wan alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alihi at-tahirin.
Allahumma